Vlad's here because we're going to begin this hour with some of the biggest parenting questions out there for new parents in particular. It's all part of our Vlad to Dad series where we help our very own Vlad Duthiers. Love these graphics. Figure out how to prepare for fatherhood. I'm a father of 4. Posted a picture yesterday of myself. A day I don't even remember at all. I'm carrying a rocker, a bottle of wine, a baby, a binky, a baby wrap. I got it all.
You got a pacifier in your mouth.
Total blur. I forgot as much about parenting.
This?
I have no recollection of that night. It looked like I had fun, though. Early days of parenting can truly be a blur. I mean, no joke about it, but it's good to be prepared. And we've got some help on that front. Pediatrician Dyan Hes is with us to help answer some of Vlad's questions and some questions from viewers who are new parents as well. Welcome.
Good to see you, Dr. Hes. So Dr. Hes and I have spoken many, many times on CBS News streaming, so it's good to have you in person in the studio. So let's talk about the things that I brought some pictures in to show.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder how we all survived to get to this point here. Because there are so many things you need to be concerned about. Look at this little very crappy changing table that I was on. It looks like an ironing board, right? Look at this. This is my little sister in her crib. Look at that plastic all around her. What? I know, right?
All the stuffed animals?
And look at that little crappy like car seat and the random kid on the floor on the blanket, right?
Yeah, beside you.
So how, Dr. Hes, there are so many things that parents need to be concerned about. Cribs like that have bumpers in them. What should parents keep in mind when they're preparing?
So for safe sleep, they should be on a firm mattress with a tight fitted sheet and no bumpers.
No bumpers, no stuffed animals,
They can't
no
have
blankets.
now. You can't have anything in the crib.
Right, you can't have anything in the crib. And if you look like in Finland and you look up baby box, in Finland they send the babies home like in a little box with like a very, very thin firm mattress. So then parents will say, what about breathable filters, bumpers, breathable bumpers? But what happens is that it's a suffocation hazard. They can get their neck trapped between the bumper and the bars. So then the parents say, if I don't put a bumper, their arm will get stuck or their leg will get stuck. But they'll survive. They won't.
Yeah,
They might be uncomfortable for a few hours, but they'll be fine.
And you put the baby to sleep on its back, which is the opposite of what like we all did. Yeah, I was on my stomach.
Right.
And you're supposed to wrap them up. They look like little burritos,
Well,
right?
that's an option. So, like, I always say we don't learn about swaddling in medical school. It's more of a nursing thing. But babies do like to be, some babies like to be swaddled. Some babies, were in the uterus with their arms up, and they want to be with their arms up when they come out. So you could swaddle their legs, or you can just put them in a sleep sack. I didn't swaddle my babies. We put them in like 2 layers of pajamas, one with feet and one without feet or something like that. But that's a parental choice. But you have to remember to unswaddle by 4 months old, or else they don't roll over because they can't learn their motor skills because they're so tight. So there's like always pros and cons. And then with swaddling also, we have like a whole epidemic of flatheads on their back because they're lying on their back all the time. So I always say
That's what
it is a thing. Yeah.
In some countries that's considered like cosmetically very nice, actually. But,
well, let me ask you one other thing that my doctor, when we were meeting with her, she asked that everyone that comes to meet the baby for the first time be fully vaccinated, including having whooping cough vaccines and flu vaccines. Do you agree with that?
What I say is that the people who are going to spend a lot of time with your newborn. So if it's going to be a grandma, an aunt, a babysitter, a nanny, a night nurse, any of the people who are you can't. I don't know that you can ask a friend to get a flu shot, right? Yeah. I would ask them. We're used to wearing masks now. If you're not, please wear a mask.
Right.
And anyway, right now with flu, RSV, all these viruses going around, you wouldn't be wrong to ask somebody to put a mask on when they're visiting your baby if you feel uncomfortable. Like I always say, you're giving them the opportunity to meet your baby. Your baby doesn't know the difference, but if your baby gets RSV or flu now, that's like a big deal, right?
Yeah, we have some viewer questions. This is from Kristen, who asked,
Great
Kristen,
question.
thank you for asking this question, because I find this so friggin' irritating with my own favorite daughter, Kirby, who had a baby, Luca.
Yeah.
Is sleep training.
Yes, when is the best time?
Because it used to be when they were born, you put them in the bed after they eat. When they cry and you wake up, you pick them up. Now they have to have a specific schedule. We're killing ourselves to get to Luca's special schedule for sleeping. Why can't we just get them up when they cry and wake up, put them down when they're tired? Now they have to have a schedule for sleep
okay, but
training.
the schedule is different from the training. The training is about overnights, right?
No.
Some people have a schedule the whole day.
Yes.
So there's very different.
I had that house, Tony, where you had to sleep the whole day.
Yeah.
All right. So
what do you feel
That's
about
really
sleep
parenting
training?
style. So I I always say there's just not one size fits all. I'm a very relaxed person. I'm a very relaxed physician, so I work with that family. So if you're a very type A mom, like your daughter, who likes to schedule, I will work with you to make that work. Sometimes I feel like these families focus on minutia, and because they're so wrapped.
Sleep training.
Only if you want it. Only if you want it.
What does it do?
How does it work?
Yeah, what is
Explain
it?
to Vlad how it works.
Some people do the Ferber method, where you go in the first night your baby cries and you go in every 5 minutes, and you don't speak to them, you just pat them, and you don't say mommy's here, daddy's here, because then you're like engaging the enemy, and they're like, oh, you're here? It's it's party time. Just pat them and walk out. So the first night you go in every 5 minutes, then the next night you go in every 7 minutes, then every 9 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then you like extinguish, right? You extinguish, or you do cry it out, where like especially like in New York City, you tell your neighbors, I'm doing cry it out. My baby's gonna cry a few nights. I'm buying you a bottle of wine, and we're gonna let them cry it out. But there's different stages where you would do that. I don't recommend sleep training before 4 months, because I really
that's the question.
think babies need to be fed more often.
I would say, Vlad, the people that do sleep training swear by it. I will say that. They swear by it.
What is
They
the
say it's
ultimate?
very
I still
effective.
don't understand. What's the ultimate goal?
To get your baby to sleep
Sleep through the night.
Yeah.
To
To
get the
not
baby
be
to sleep
insane
through
as
the
a
night.
parent, to not be sleep
Yeah.
deprived. Like to put them down
I like
at 7.
that, Vlad.
But only-
What's the ultimate goal?
What are you trying to accomplish here?
You want a good sleep.
Vlad,
You want to
so
put
the
them.
baby can sleep.
I mean, I was just sort of like, okay. I thought
you want-
they slept all the time. They slept and they eat. That's what I heard was told.
The dream is a 7 p.m. bedtime, 7 a.m. wake up for a baby under the age of 1. That is, you are lucky.
Right, but you have to remember that
So you have to sleep train
50% of breastfed babies wake up one time a night until they're 1 year old. So what might be right for one baby is not right for every baby. You know.
Okay, real quick, when should you start solids for your
So if you're a breastfed baby, we usually say starting solids at 6 months. And if you're a formula-fed baby, you can introduce them between 4 and 6 months.
Okay.
But usually they don't have the motor skills for it. So it's usually between 5 and 6 months where they can really hold their head up, be in a high chair, and enjoy it. Because they look at you when you're eating and you think that they're ready to eat, but then you give them the food and it's kind of like a cat. Like they lick it and they don't really know how to swallow it.
It's so cute.
But for all babies now, we say that they should be exposed to nut butters
Yes.
and earlier peanuts. Remember, peanuts are a legume, so you expose them
So
to natural peanut butter and then
Right.
maybe almond butter or cashew butter, because we want to prevent the allergies.
Yeah.
So
do that
important.
Vlad
for
has
4
so
months.
much to learn.
I'm
It's going to be
I'm
so
learning.
fun.
It's going to be
Yes.
great. I'm really
glad
excited.
to Dad. We thank you, Dr. Dyan Hes, for coming in today.
Yes.